So hi again, everybody. I am so excited to be doing another Facebook Live with you today. I am Christie, the president and founder of the Dynamic Professional Women's Network and the creator of the Overcoming Mediocrity series of books. Here is our most recent one. Gosh, the glare is kind of tough. So I am with you. I actually challenge myself to do a Facebook Live every day and teach some great information about how you can share your story and leverage it in a way that's going to allow you to build your business. And that is why we started this book 5 years ago. We've done 5 books, one every year, working on interviewing authors for book number 6 right now. But I have seen over and over again how these women have been vulnerable enough to share their story in hopes of helping others. And it really made a difference in the lives of the people that read the book, and it also made a difference in their own lives. And that's what I want to share with you. I want to share with you how you can also embrace your own personal power story so that you can take full advantage of its historic power in your life and in your business. And this is day number 3 of these live trainings. And the first day we went over the why we need to share our stories. And we talked about all of the benefits that you can expect from sharing your story too. Day number 2, we went over the first step of the P's. So I've got 5 P's that will teach you how to craft and leverage your story. And P number 1 is purge. And that's what we went over yesterday. And we talked about how you need to purge all of the stories out of your mind. So when you're determining what story to use, you can be more objective. And when you're sharing your story, you don't share it like a timeline. You share the parts of your life that's relevant to the value you're trying to provide. And so that's what we're going to go over today. And we're going to actually go over 2 P's today, because I know tomorrow I have a lot of really super great content. That is kind of the meat and potatoes of the training. We're actually going to go into how to put your story together. So I know I'm going to need a lot of time for that. And then on Friday, we're going to wrap up with how we're going to get our story out there in a way that's going to make the biggest impact to others as well as ourselves. So let's dive in today. And I see a few people on here. We've got Leslie on here. I saw Joe. I saw Charles. So hi, everybody. Make sure you like this and share it, because that is my goal, is to get this out there in front of as many people as possible. And I need your support with that. And I know these Facebook Lives sometimes seem kind of scary. I know I've done a few throughout the last 4 or 5 months, but I've never done it in a way that I am committing to doing it on a regular basis. And I encourage my clients to do that, because it is and can be a really great way to get a lot of exposure as well as help people by sharing some great content. Also having fun with it. And it just occurred to me that I probably should share my story, my superhero story, in one of these. So maybe I will do a day 6, a wrap up, and really share my story. But what I'm going to do is share a few of the mini stories from our authors as I talk about today's training. So let's dive into that. As I mentioned, we talked about purge yesterday. Today we're going to talk about purpose. That is going to be P number 2. So I'm going to write that down. Probably a better way for me to do this. I wasn't a school teacher, so I don't have the school teacher etiquette. Probably shouldn't have turned my back on you, but that's okay. Hey, Stacy, how are you? Thanks for joining me. So what we're going to talk about is purpose, because you really need to understand your purpose, why you want to share your story, and how it's going to help people. So what we really want to determine is the goals, the dreams, the desire, the problem. What are we going to do what part of our story do we want to share that's going to help people go on that journey with us? And what we did yesterday, again, is we purged all of our own old stories. And what we need to do is determine what part of our life, what part was there a change? Like, when did things transition for you? And it could be, as I mentioned earlier, it could be a superhero story or an underdog story. So a superhero story is when you triumphed, you helped other people, you were able to kind of swoop in and be the hero for somebody else. And an underdog story is when you yourself were in a very low place and you were able to come out on top and become the underdog or survive over being an underdog. So those are the two different main areas that you can kind of choose from. But in your life story, with all the little mini stories along the way, there's probably one part of that that has brought you to where you are now, or to do what you are doing now based on who you're helping. And I mostly serve and help support women who are authors, speakers, coaches, and who are dedicated to helping other people, whether it be in the health business, lifestyle business, helping people as a business coaches. There's so many ways that you can help people, but my focus is helping female entrepreneurs who want to be experts, or who are experts. And so they become an expert because something in their life has brought them on a journey where they've learned some incredible information or learned some incredible skills that they want to share with other people. So when you look at your mission, your purpose in life, where you've kind of gotten to the place where you realize this is my thing, this is my area of expertise. Well, thanks everybody. Hi, I'm seeing a lot of thumbs up and hearts coming through, so thank you. I love that. It's kind of distracting, so I don't mean to have these little squirrel moments, but thank you so much. So when you get to that place in your life where you realize this is what I was created for, this is what I really feel is my thing, you want to then use that to determine what your superhero story is, what your personal power story is. So what part of your life story brought you to that place? So that is really when you've had an epiphany, an aha moment, or a defining moment, or a turning point. When you were going through your life, you got to this big challenge, and you got to the bottom of that challenge, you got down to the pits of that crazy part of your life, and then you were able to overcome that. And that is the personal power story that you want to share the most. So that is what you want to focus on. And just keep in mind that doesn't have to be your personal power story forever, but you want to stick with it long enough to start building your brand around that. Now, I know experts that have started off with one focus and then they shift their focus and then their story changes. But until we get to the point where we become super well known in one specific niche, we've got to really stay with that one personal power story. So that would be the first one of my P's, is determine your purpose. And the second one is to determine your promise. So I'll write that down. Oh, Okay, your promise. So as I mentioned before, I've helped a lot of women share their stories in 5 books so far, and now I'm talking with women for book number 6. And as I get to know them and I learn about them and their stories, I always try to coach them back to figuring out what is the main goal that you want to accomplish by sharing your story. What is the promise that you want to really give to the reader once they've been able to read your story and spend that time with you to get to know you and your life, that part of your life. there has to be some piece of value. You just don't want somebody to read your story because you want to share. You want them to read your story because you want to help them in some way. We're sharing our story for them. So your promise needs to be how you can inspire them, how you can teach them, how you can encourage them. You need to give them schools. You need to give them tools or systems that they can actually apply so they don't have to go through the same struggles that you did, or so they can get through their struggles quicker than you did. Hey Sylvia, how are you? Hey Melissa, awesome, thanks for joining me. Make sure you love this and share this and wave and do everything to help me promote this. But I will let you know that as I've spoken with authors and we talk about the value, I've found that sometimes they get distracted. So what I've encouraged them to do is to kind of think about what their personal power story is, what part of their life they want to share, and then determine a one-sentence summary of your story, or it could be a quote. And once you figure out what that is, then that becomes kind of your target, your via point. So no matter how you put your story together, you stay focused on that quote so you don't go off down too many bunny trails. Hey Leslie, how are you? So that's the focus, is you want to determine the purpose, then you want to determine your promise, which is the value you are providing the authors, and then as you put your story together, you want to stay focused on that so the outcome will be exactly what you want. You want them to learn something, you want them to be inspired or empowered, or you're teaching them something that will help them get through their journey way faster because they're doing it with your help and they're not doing it alone. So hopefully those two P's were very helpful. I look forward to my training tomorrow where we're going to actually go deeper. That's the meat and potatoes of our training, where I'm going to kind of teach you how to put your story together. And I've got a kind of fun thing I'm going to do tomorrow that you'll see. But either way, join me tomorrow, same time, same channel on Facebook. And please like and share this. Hi, James. Nice of you to join me. Like and share this and help me spread the word. And as I mentioned the last few days, I am still looking for a few more authors for our book number 6. And if you know anybody that wants to share their story, or if you yourself wants to share your story, I would love to talk to you. Even if it may not be a good fit for you right now, it may be a good fit for you sometime in the future, either with us or somebody else. So I'd love to help you work out your story and figure out the best way that you can share it. So thanks all for joining me, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.